Digan Bazad, Digan the Napazad is a word saying the language of the holy people. In our traditional teachings, we're told that the original language that was used by the holy people was the language that was given to the Dene, and there was only one language. So the holy people used that language to organize all things. They organized Mother Earth and all of the different materials of matter and that was out in the universe, just drifting around. The holy people used the sacred language to direct these materials and that to form Mother Earth, and they dressed Mother Earth with the finest of all of the different material that they could find.
Now, this is interesting because this is what the Mormons say. And the Mormons also acknowledge that the Native Americans are part of the scattered tribes of Israel. And it's also interesting that he says that they used a language to create earth. So we know that in the beginning, the Word was with God and the Word was God. We're going to see some interesting things here.
That was out there and available. And so that's why the Mother Earth is in layers. But all of the things that are made of material, the holy people would speak the sacred word to them, and then they would do what the holy people wanted those materials to do.
Now, when he says holy people, it's angels. Okay, it's the same as when we're talking about angels. I've listened to this gentleman quite a bit, and other Native Americans. They say holy people, we say angels.
The teaching is that after they had organized Mother Earth, they put all of the life forms on Mother Earth, the vegetation, insect, birds, and animals, and finally their children, which is the Dene. And they allowed the Dene to keep the original language that was used by the holy people. But when they did that, after a period of time, their children began to misuse and abuse and pervert the language. And they were doing all kinds of things with the sacred words and giving instructions to the mountains to move over here or to put huge gouges into the Mother Earth and just doing all kinds of things with these sacred words. And so the holy people counseled together and they said, we can't allow that sacred language to remain with our children. They don't know.
So they were using a language to move mountains. Well, a language is sound. Sound, frequency, technology. Now we talk about the pyramids and how they built the pyramids. Think about it. Connect the dots here.
How to use those sacred words in the proper way. The plan was to take the language away from their children. And so they kind of announced to them, we're going to be taking those languages away from you, and we're going to give you different languages to speak. The one group, when they heard this information, they said, let's not lose the language. Let's see if we can ask the holy people to allow us to keep that sacred language. And all of the people that were at that council agreed. And they said to one man, you go and you talk to the holy people for us. And you tell them what we would like to do is we would like to keep the language, and we make our promise that we will not use the words and the sacred words in that in any type of perverted way or to abuse the words. And so this man went the first time to the holy people, and the holy people said, no, you're not going to be allowed to keep the language. And so he came back and told the group, he says that holy people won't let us keep the language. And so they counseled together again, and they said, go back and tell them we would like to keep the language, and we won't use it in any way that is wrong. We'll keep it sacred. He went again, and again he was told, no, you cannot keep the language. And then finally the third time again, they counseled, and he went and asked the holy people again, and made his request. And again, the holy people said no. So finally the fourth time, he promised. He says, if we are allowed to keep the language, we will speak to the plants, we will speak to the insects, we will speak to the birds, and we will speak to the animals, and we will use the language to speak to all things sacred words to encourage them to do what they are placed on the earth to do. And we will use it with great caution and great respect for all life form. And then the holy people said, we will just allow you just to keep a few of the words. In fact, we will just let you use 12 of those sacred phrases.
12, the number 12, 12 tribes, 12 disciples, and the 12th letter of the alphabet is the letter L. And if you spell out L, it's E-L, which means God. Amazing connections. Got to connect the dots here.
12 of those sacred phrases. And that's where the teaching among our people in Navajo, they call it is the way that they tell it. Only 12 words, or phrases actually, were the allowed to keep. And then other.
I watch the Native Americans, this channel and other ones. It's amazing. It's amazing how much of what they say is just biblical, and it's just showing who they truly are, where they truly came from. The scattered tribes, some of the scattered tribes of Israel. It's incredible.